In my second month as an artist on YouTube, I went from 50 subscribers to 200 subscribers and wanted to share what I've learned so far. Just a quick disclaimer, like my previous update video, this video will be a bit data heavy and isn't the type of content I normally make. I just like to make this video once a month as a frame of reference for others interested in becoming an art YouTuber, for future me to look back on, and for anyone else that's just curious. So with that said, don't subscribe if you're looking for a channel about helping you grow. I don't usually make this type of content. I mostly post about character design, sketchbook sessions, and art style studies. So if that sounds interesting, then please do subscribe. But okay, so if we look back to month 1, I had just hit 50 subscribers, a total of 12 videos, and my most viewed video was my new sketchbook video at 532 views. Well, that video has since skyrocketed to 3.4k views at the end of month 2, and even now, just a week later, it's sitting at 5k views, which is insane to think about. I'm very curious if it'll keep growing faster and faster and when it'll eventually slow down, because I know it has to eventually, but the graph has just consistently gone up and up, so I have no clue when that'll be. But I am prepared to just keep in mind that it will eventually die out. It's not gonna keep growing like this forever, at least I assume not. But besides that, I've posted 11 videos during month 2 as I switched to a 3 upload a week schedule instead of just 2 a week. I like this new schedule and I think it gives me more room to play around with ideas, so I plan on keeping it like this for a while. And lastly, for subscribers, I had hit 203 subscribers at the end of month 2, and despite it only being a week since then, I'm now at 340 subscribers, which is, again, absolutely insane. I can't believe how fast I've grown, and I'm eternally grateful. But okay, if we look at the actual videos for most of month 2, the average views on a video was sitting at a higher number, around 70 to 100, and all had an average view duration of around 20 to 25%, which is better than last month, so I'll take it. But the biggest success for month 2 video-wise has to be my Toleban Hanako-kun art style study video. This was the last video I uploaded that's part of month 2, and it absolutely blew up, at least for like my channel standards. It's been around a week and a half, and it's sitting currently at 1k views, so it's officially my second video to hit this milestone. I've never done an art style study video on this channel, but I thought it'd be fun, and since it didn't do too well the first day or two, I thought it wouldn't be a super successful series. But yeah, needless to say, I was proven very much wrong. Considering how successful the video was and that I enjoy studying other artist styles, I decided to make it a new weekly series, so a new video will be uploaded every Friday, with the next one being Trickywagon, for anyone that's curious. Something interesting about this video is that even though it didn't do well at the very beginning, it did pick up steam afterwards, which is pretty interesting, because usually my videos do very well at the beginning and then die out after just a couple days, but this one has done the exact opposite, so I'm pretty glad to have one do the opposite for once. So while this month I have gained a lot of subscribers, and obviously I had a big blowout video, I think the best thing for me overall is that my community has grown. Growing subscribers doesn't necessarily mean you'll create a community, so I've been trying really hard to keep my videos similar to each other in topic so they're not so different people don't find them interesting, and I also try to post a lot in the community tab since of course I want to build up a nice community here, so I do try to upload once a day. I don't always do it once a day, but I do usually aim for that. So far, each one of my posts, the amount of likes I get on them has generally increased, as well as I've done a couple of polls, and both polls have had over 10 people vote on them, which is pretty nice. In fact, my poll about my hairstyle for an OC of mine has actually had 34 votes, which is super high. I was just hoping that I'd get like 5 votes, and I got 34, which is great. And I recently posted another poll not too long ago. I think it's been maybe like about a day, and that already has 11 votes. So this is pretty nice. Before, when I did a poll, it got like 2 votes. So the fact that the votes on the poll are growing is a pretty good sign, at least I think so. That means that people are interacting with my community posts, so I think it's pretty good. And also I can tell that with each new video, they seem to perform better and better overall. So that tells me that people are interested in my other videos outside of just the one video that they saw. So that is also very nice to see. In my last video, I had mentioned about different types of videos, which was things like trends, evergreen content, and some personal videos. This month, I didn't really hop on any trends. I did turn an art challenge by Static Wall into 2 videos, but I'm not sure I would call those trends since they were more of Instagram challenges and not YouTube challenges. Although I will say that my night design video for one of these trends did do better than I expected at the time, so that's nice. I did do one fan art video, which did average overall. It was slow to grow, but I like how the page came out, and at the end, it ended up hitting the average view range that videos at the time were hitting. I made a PNG tuber video, which was pretty nice and interesting to make, although the video didn't do as well as I thought it would, so that was a bit surprising. I'm not really sure why, but I try not to think about videos that underperform too much. I prefer to just kind of release a video, see what I can learn from it, and then just kind of move on and not dwell on them too much. I also randomly decided to get a marker set at my local Michael's art store, and I randomly decided to make a video about it, and surprisingly, that video did surprisingly well. It got around like over 100 views, and now it's sitting at a little over 200 views, so that was pretty surprising. I am curious to see if that video will continue to grow since it is a review video on markers, so it's more of a searchable video than anything, but only time will tell, obviously. I did also post a new sketchbook tour setup video, so I'm hoping that will grow over time as well. My current one that's really popular. It took, I'd say, about a month to really start picking up steam. So who knows? Maybe it'll be the same with that video. I feel like probably not, but you know, one can hope. But okay, for my future plans. As I mentioned earlier, I plan on doing an art study video once a week. So those now officially take up all my Fridays. I'm not sure exactly how long I'll keep it up, since obviously they take a lot of work and obviously I need an artist to study from. So I feel like at some point I might start to run out of artists, but hopefully I can keep it up through the end of the year because I do really like making the videos. I just need to make sure that I have a pretty big backlog of artists that I can use. I've published 2 in the series so far, the second one technically being part of month 3. However, that one has already done really well, surpassing 1,000 views. So I was a bit hesitant since I wanted people to be interested in my videos overall about posting too many art style study videos. But the baseline of views for my videos, like I said, in the last week or so have increased and people are engaging more with likes and votes on community posts. So I take that as a sign that people aren't here just for the art style studies. I do think that they're also here for more videos outside of that. So I think overall it's still working, but I think if I ever notice that I'm gaining a lot of subscribers that are really only watching the art style studies but nothing else, I might slow down on the speed that I release them, since obviously I still want my main driver to be things like character design videos or things like that. But of course, only time will tell. But so far from the 2 videos I've posted, it doesn't seem to be that way. People seem to be interested in other things as well. So I'm taking that as a good sign. Inktober is coming up, and I already know that Inktober is in our challenge that takes place in October, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. But I already know that it's going to take up all my Wednesday slots in October. But for this month, I focused on making 2 videos related to Inktober. So I'm kind of curious to see if they'll get a bit of a second wind when October or Inktober does come around. And also, I'm very curious to see if they'll pick up steam again a year from now during next year's Inktober. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that could be rather interesting to see if those views will kind of obviously die out when Inktober is no longer relevant. But when it is relevant again, will they go back and watch a year-old video? I'm not sure. I guess so. It probably could be, but I'm very curious to see. Obviously, I won't know for like a year from now, but I'm excited to see what happens. I do also want to make a follow-up video of my art block video with a video about perfectionism in art, among some other things. I thought I was going to do that a lot sooner, and obviously I did not. Other things took priority, but I do want to do that this month as well. And I'm also thinking about filling in the extra slots with maybe some challenges. I'll have to see, because the problem is a lot of challenges take kind of a long time to do. So we'll have to see how it goes, but I'm hoping that maybe I can do a challenge or 2 in this month as well. I remember I said last month I really wanted to hit 100 subscribers, and I've clearly surpassed that by quite a lot. I'm honestly not sure what a realistic goal is anymore. My growth has steadily increased over the last 2 months, so I don't think it's just a short-lived spike. Since if I look at my graphs, it is slowly going up. It's not really ever declining greatly. So we're also already into a week into month 3, and I've already surpassed 300 subscribers. So I'm really not sure what to aim for, since if I gained 100 subscribers in just 1 week, if I continued to gain 100 subscribers a week, that means that after 3 more weeks, I could hit 600 subscribers, but that sounds really crazy to say, and I don't want to get my hopes up to double, or that's more than doubling my my current subscriber base that I started this month with. So I think I'm going to aim for 400 to 500. The speed at which I'm gaining subscribers has, of course, also gone up, so I'm thinking that 400 should be pretty realistic. I'm not 100% sure about 500, but we'll have to see, obviously. I think I'd be obviously very happy with 400. I do think if I could hit 450, that would be really cool. But obviously, if I do hit something even higher, I think that would be absolutely insane, because I can't imagine that the speed of which I'm getting subscribers right now could be realistic to keep up like forever. But if it does, that would also be, of course, very amazing. But I'm not going to expect it to happen, because I don't want to be disappointed when it probably doesn't happen. So I think for realism's sake, I'm going to say 400, but a nice goal that I would really like to hit would be 450. And then my stretch goal would probably be 500. This also means I'm actually not that far away from the first level of monetization in terms of subscriber count, but I am behind in watch hours. However, my watch hours has grown quite a lot the last week, so I'm hoping I can build those up semi-quickly to kind of catch up. The first level of monetization that YouTube gives you doesn't include ads or anything. It just includes things like you can now officially link to shop items, you can have memberships, and I think people can donate or something. I forget what the last one is. I think it has something to do with donations. But I know that ideally in the future, I would like to have a Patreon and an art shop. These are definitely some long-term goals of mine, although I'm not sure how I'll host the art shop. I'm not sure if I want to use Etsy or not, but I'm not sure what else I would use outside of Etsy. So it's definitely something I'll have to think about. I also have to think if I want to use YouTube memberships, because I had always intended on using a Patreon. So I'm not really quite sure what the difference between a Patreon and YouTube memberships are. I guess I'll have to look into them. But either way, I think opening these 2 things with only 500 subscribers feels too little. So I think instead I'm just going to focus on obviously continuing to put out really good videos and hopefully grow my channel. And then maybe by the end of the year, these are something that I can come back to and maybe think about opening up. I think that'd be very exciting. But I am very excited for when I can finally hit these two goals of mine, because they just feel like super cool. Obviously, an art shop, just very nice. I can make fan art and also hopefully art of like my OCs and stuff that people will find interesting. And Patreon, I just think would be lots of fun. But yeah, that's my update for month 2. I think this was shorter than my 1 month update, but I didn't need to include the whole backstory in this one. So either way, I still hope it's helpful overall if you're thinking about making your own art channel. And if you're not, then hopefully it was just an interesting watch. If you have any video ideas you'd like to see, let me know in the comments, or if you have any of your own, if you have your own art channel, let me know how it's going. Make sure to like the video if it was helpful or interesting, and subscribe if any of my videos have sounded interesting to you so far. And yeah, okay, bye-bye.